dopamine overload marketing is changing Gen Alpha. What does this even mean?
Rizzlers, looking very Sigma today.
Thanks, man.
Okay, that probably won't be a regular thing, but can't promise anything. As you can tell from that scary introduction, I'm always on that quest for knowledge so I can keep up with what's going on in the world. And after finishing my 90 slang to Gen Alpha slang worksheet, I wanted to use new word I learned in real life. Maybe the
Yo, give me 1 second. I gotta go hit the skibbity toilet.
brain rot was there all along. We've just repackaged it for modern times with a side of Cocomelon videos. Who knows, maybe in the future the cringiness of saying majestic and ate that will be cool again, like, you go girl, no diggity. Fresh? And jump scare, this is actually from an old Navy catalog for hip children's clothes.
Yep.
The kid audience has always been a target for billion-dollar companies operating under corporate capitalism.
Here's the thing, man. I feel like if you have a big issue with like Riz and skibbity toilet, guys, it's just kids being kids. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? I don't know. Like, I think it's funny how cringe it is, but I don't really think it's an actual problem. Now, do I think that Cocomelon is an issue? Abso-fucking-lutely. I think that parents are using Cocomelon as a substitute for them doing their proper parenting jobs. And I'll be real, I'm a firm advocate that I think being a good parent is the most important thing to do in this world. But we're willing to take shortcuts by putting them in front of brainwashed hypnotism ads 24/7 that essentially turn them into brain dead retards by the time they're 3 years old and they realize they fucked up too much and now they're chronically addicted to going, Cocomelon, da 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 da. You know, they're fucked. Hey guys, do you need a new computer? Of course you do. In that case, you need to check out Starforge Systems. Not only does Starforge Systems make the best PCs in the universe, but it has my own personal seal of approval. They have 6 awesome computers ranging from entry level to the top of the line streaming PCs so you can find the perfect computer for you. Not only that, but their 2-year full parts and labor warranty can put you at ease when buying your new computer. Head to starforgesystems.com today and get the computer that you deserve.
That still hasn't changed. If there's a miner, we're gonna mine her for gold. Yikes. Basically, everyone's trying to sell you something like a video game innkeeper. That's just how the world works nowadays. But you'll be okay as long as you do your research before buying anything so you can make an informed decision. Try to avoid blindly trusting random guys on the internet who make YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So, you looking weary, traveler? Are you looking to sit down for a point? Or would you fancy a magic potion for health? Well, we don't have that, but we do have Gamer Subs, our sponsor for today.
Yeah, use code BALDY!
Alternative to energy drinks. Since the majority of my audience are fully developed frontal lobe people, I feel better about telling you guys about this.
Wait, use code BALDY.
0 sugar, less than 1 calorie, and if you're a fan of anime, you'll like what they have to offer. Gamer Subs isn't something I drink daily, but when I need that extra pick-me-up to get me through that after lunch grogginess, for me, half a scoop of this and some ice-cold water is a refreshing way for me to get my energy back up. I like that you can adjust the servings based on how much you need. I tend to make mine a little less sweet. Sometimes I don't feel like downing an entire can of—
I do 22 ounces of water to 1/2 scoop. I'm gonna be real, man. I don't need that much caffeine to get me through my day.
Liquid just to feel something. The best way to try Gamer Subs is with their free samples, and they do ship worldwide. Then you don't have to fully commit, just in case it's not for you. If you're already a fan, you can use my code EVASION to get 10% off your order. You can find it in the description, traveler.
You can also use the code BALDY.
Marketing has come a long way from ye old TV commercials, newspaper columns, and magazine clippings, to every screen within your peripheral vision being a rush of dopamine-inducing ads. Doom scrolling through your phone feels like standing in the middle of Times Square. There's so much going on at once, and you haven't even left your bed yet. How does one navigate the world when everything is overstimulating us to the point of exhaustion? Especially—
Yeah, I mean, I'll be real. I wake up every morning to about 2 hours of scrolling through TikTok shorts and YouTube shorts. And it is like hypnotism. It is. And I lay there until I feel like a pile of shit. And then I have to go jerk off and take a shower. And then it's the same thing for at night, you know? Like, why would I sit there and just stare at a wall when I could be looking at infinite content at my fingertips? You understand that 200 years ago, you know what people's version of TikTok would be? Sitting on their front porch in a rocking chair, right? And staring off at tumbleweeds on the ye old road, where they would see a horse walk by every 3 hours or so. That was what stimulation was. Sex used to be just 2 people laying on top of each other and flopping around. And now you got doggy, missionary, standing cowgirl, BDSM, pouring wax on your nipples, hitting each other with fucking ropes. You know, like, you got to call everybody mommy, daddy, fucking fuck me, I'm a slut, I'm a whore, come in my mouth, come in my face, come in my ass, right? Like everything is just like too stimulating. We're not happy with anything that requires any type of attention span anymore. It's like, brother, our brains are cooked. Our brains are fucking cooked.
For people with underdeveloped brains. No, not as content creators with skibbity toilet brain rot, but Gen Alpha, those born at the tail end of 2009 to present day, who are somewhere between the ages of 0 to 14 years old. Never
Kai Cenat's fan base.
having a second of quiet or playtime without a screen, while constantly being bombarded with ads, is expediting their growing up process. You know how boomers are constantly rambling about how these whippersnappers, they're growing up too quick, I tell ya. It's not just
You know what's sad? It's not the boomers anymore. All the boomers are fucking dead. You know, they're dead or they have dementia. It's like an era where they're just all gone, man. It's sad because you know what's crazy? We're becoming the boomers now. It's a shame.
Sweet embrace of dementia coming in for a hug. They're actually right. Gen Alpha is speed running through the 10-year-old phase and straight into the drunk elephant anti-aging mewing routine.
Okay, I'll be real, man. If saying Giga Chad and saying sus is Alpha Gen starter pack, bro. Also, Pomni, the amazing digital circus is just good. So is Among Us. The fuck? Bro, not all of this shit is bad. Not all of this shit is bad.
While the Rizzler's lullaby plays in the back. All around the skibbity bush, the monkey chased the Rizzler. The monkey thought Ohio was fun. Yat goes the Rizzler. Has been stuck in my head for weeks. Giant corporations have the tendency to prioritize making as much money as possible to the detriment of their consumers, and the marketing tactics they employ are literally rewiring our brains. While we do have more regulations compared to before, companies are still able to find loopholes when advertising to minors. Before the rise of internet celebrities, who are born from viral moments and a nice heaping of luck, we had traditional A-list celebrities attaching their names to reputable brands.
No, I'm not gonna lie, seeing John Cena go on Kai Cenat's stream was one of the most cringe things I've ever seen. Once again, nothing but love for Kai. I joke about him a lot. Think he's a great streamer. But man, seeing John Cena be like, why are we screaming? It's just like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? Like, bro was a fish out of water on that stream. It was funny, but it was also just like, oh God, man. Man, we're cooked, bro.
Tom Cruise's PT Cruisers, The Rock's Organic Gravel, Reese Witherspoon's Silver Colory Set, and Janet Jackson's Winter Jackets for sons, just to name a few that I made up. People would buy anything if someone famous endorsed it. A popular Hollywood squirrel selling acorns, I will take 50. Although the A in A-list does stand for always. Unrelatable, because they are too famous. These Hollywood bigwigs, they're just in it for the money. You really think Jennifer Aniston is wiping her face with Aveeno using her giant Friends paycheck? There was a time when influencers were considered more trustworthy when endorsing products compared to traditional celebrities. Because influencers...
Well, here's the problem, and let's pull back the curtain here. The more untrustworthy an ad is, the more it pays, okay? And I'll be real. If all a content creator has to do is kind of bend the truth and makes enough for 2 years' salary, man, that's pretty appealing now, isn't it? Chat, would you tell one silly little lie for 200 grand? I think a lot of people would, and that's the problem. It's the forbidden fruit. Adam and Eve, the apple, they shouldn't eat.
Man, they're just like us. Our relatable internet friend, who's only a DM away, plus the constant output of content helps build that parasocial relationship that kids really yearn for. Think about it. If you were in grade 4 in this day and age, would you be idolizing these nerds? With peace and love, the purple one is my bias.
Hell
or would
no.
you be a fan of famous TikTok influencer with limitless riz, who just
Yeah,
gave $1 million for one of
dude.
their fans? The chances of that being you only increases if you
Yeah,
buy 55
dude.
pairs of merch and 55 boxes of snack foods. Lunchables, ooh. Lunchly is a brand of snack kits created by Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast, famous internet celebrities known to have a lot of young fans. They're marketing the snack kit as a healthier alternative to Lunchables. The announcement
Yeah, but here's the thing. All of KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast fans, they're starting to grow up. And with age comes maturity, and with age comes intellect and wisdom. They're starting to turn against them, man. Now, I'll be real. I think Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul, well, okay, Logan Paul's a piece of shit. Let me make that first and foremost. I actually think that Logan Paul's a piece of shit. Damn good professional wrestler. But as a human, I think he's rotten to the fucking core. KSI and Mr. Beast, I think they were horrifically overhated. I don't really know them too much, but I do see the issues that people are angry at them for, and the majority of them are far overblown and just seems very clout chasing. And once again, I hate to be the one guy saying this in America, I really think Thick of It by KSI really isn't that bad. Now, is it good? Hell no. But I do like to listen to it just to make fun of people because of how angry they get when I say, I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. It's really not that fucking bad, to be honest.
Announcement for this product caused quite a bit of discourse.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar. Whoa. Feastables Crunch Bar.
Yeah!
Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese. Ooh. We're also 30 less calories, 3 less grams of fat, and 8 less grams of sugar. Turkey Stack 'em, 310 calories.
230 calories.
21 grams of sugar.
Only 7 grams of sugar.
If you look at this close up, you can already tell which one has better ingredients. All right, we'll start off with the Lunchables.
Bro, I'm sorry, that's trash. All right, now we're trying Lunchly. Come on.
We're not biased at all, but ours is way better.
We're not biased at all, says the owners of the company. You want to know why Logan Paul was the one to say that? Because he's the one with the lowest moral fiber who doesn't mind just straight up lying. And that's the bottom line, man. We all know it.
I know I'm not the target audience for this, but that was a lot for my old wrinkly adult brain. If I was a young kid, however, I could see myself being influenced by this. Small green number, good. Big red number, bad.
Yep.
Why? I don't know. That's what my favorite internet celebrity told me. You also get that dopamine rush of jump cuts, yelling, and overstimulating animations in the span of 60 seconds. To no one's surprise, a handful of content creators were pretty vocal about this being a cash grab targeting their young fans, and how the content creation space has become a
I think cash grab was a horrific misunderstanding of what they're trying to do. They're not trying to do a cash grab. A cash grab is like a quick scheme, get in, get out. No, they're attempting to start up a dynasty. They're attempting to disrupt the space. Like, they want to make a huge corporation. They want to expand. First with Feastables, then with Lunchly. And to be honest, do I really mind? Fuck no, because I think all corporations are shit. And that's just the truth. And that's pretty much how it goes. They are things that are designed to make as much money as possible. Let's be real, guys. For 4 crackers, 4 pieces of turkey that big, and 4 pieces of cheese, it's going to run you $5.29. If you don't understand that those are the prices that they can charge because there is no other thing or place in the space, well, then you're just delusional. They're both shit. And we all fucking know it. That's the reality. It's the lesser of two evils.
capitalistic nightmare. After some back and forth between the general public.
I promise you, if every corporate figurehead was forced to be a part of social media and you were to see just as much of their life as you've seen as Jimmy, KSI, and Logan Paul's, you'd hate their ass even more. And that's the bottom line. You know it's the truth. They're also a corporation? Oh, absolutely.
Public and the creators of Lunchly, who all had different approaches of addressing the situation.
Now, I will say this was the dumbest take I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, and I would go in more on this, but I hate seeing content creators saying this is selling crap to kids who don't know better to trust the people who are selling to them than by some random YouTuber that's put out a fuck ton of merch, runs ads on all their fucking channel. I don't like this shit where content creators try to virtue signal and say, I would never do anything for money. Meanwhile, you have like a Funko Pop and a fucking pop vinyl. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Yes, you would. Okay? Unless you're not running any ads, I don't want to see this fucking holier than thou take come from any fucking YouTuber with 6 minutes of ads every fucking Twitch stream every fucking 30 minutes and fucking 2 minutes of fucking ads every fucking 10-minute YouTube video. Shut the fuck up. I understand what he's saying, but it's coming from the wrong place, in my opinion.
Some going personal, some going on the attack, and others going more in depth about the product itself. Whatever's happening here is a lot more nuanced than it appears. The main issues people have with Lunchly are
he only puts out toys, not nutritional shit. And how does that make it different? It's something else that kids are going to want to waste their money on. How's that any different? Yes, but toys don't affect your health. You're acting like eating Lunchly is going to give you cancer. You're acting like a kid only eating Lunchables is going to be great for them. Bro, are you dumb? It still makes them money, but far less scummy. Nah, not really. They're both shit.
Are with the founders themselves, who don't.
Yeah, man, if you eat Lunchly, you'll get cancer by age 8. If you eat Lunchables, you'll become a millionaire. Shut the fuck up, bro. You know they're both bad. You read some dumbass shit on Twitter that had 200,000 upvotes and you perceived it as reality. They're both shit, and you know it.
don't necessarily have the cleanest reputation in terms of controversy. Even if the product is technically better than what's currently available, you can't be too surprised when people think you're only doing this for profit when that's the image you built for yourself. This group of people here doesn't really scream passionate about kids' health, along with the content being created to promote their brand. Not sure what this has to do with providing healthier options for kids. I guess you can only do so much when your product is literally, can I copy your homework? Yeah, don't worry, I'll make it slightly different so we don't get caught. If they wanted to portray
Well, it's just a catchy little ad. I don't really see anything. I don't really see an issue with that ad, to be honest. You guys, am I crazy? I feel it's just like a, here's our ad, brand familiarity. I feel like it's fine. I mean, I'm not really seeing any Lunchables ads that are like blowing my fucking mind. At least not since the 1990s.
a healthier alternative to snack foods, Lunchables shouldn't have been the base model for Lunchly, when Lunchables already has a reputation for being unhealthy with a sprinkle of delicious lead. I do
Exactly. And that's what I've been saying the whole fucking time. Like, people are trying to act like, oh, it's ruining the children's food. It's like, no, they're aware that parents are going to buy shitty products for their kids. So they make a slightly different version, and they know it's going to fucking sell because parents just don't give a fuck about what they put into their kids, okay? They just don't. Lazy parents will see Lunchables and say, oh, this will be a nice little treat, but it's like, bro, don't get them used to that fucking garbage. That being said, I'm not a parent. I can't virtue signal that hard. But the situation is a far less big of a deal than people are making it out to be, because it's not like people are getting their kids to stop eating Lunchables and that's going to ruin their health. No, Lunchables is just as fucking bad.
agree with some parts of this.
And I don't see anybody going after Lunchables. You want to know why? Because that doesn't give them clout on Twitter. The only reason why people pretend to give a fuck is because they know going against KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul is going to give them free updates. And that's what it's always been about. Nobody wants to do the right thing unless they get acknowledged for doing the right fucking thing. Okay? They have this false sense of justice, and the shit makes me fucking sick.
If you had to pick between the two, Lunchly is a better option on paper, but only by like 15%. The difference is almost negligible to justify eating this super often, especially during your development years. If my kid was a super fan and
Yeah, but right there, I mean, objectively, you admitted that they put out a better product, right? And so if the product's better, why don't we just go obliterate Lunchables, the worst product of the two, rather than preventing a slightly better version from disrupting the space, which could cause them both to have to improve. We're so close to getting to the right option, but we're not doing it because that's not what gives us 2,000 likes on our hate comment.
wanting to eat an influencer snack pack, they better have all their chores done a year in advance. Also, straight A's until they graduate. Also, the house better be clean from top to bottom. Oh, that's a maid. I think I'm looking for a maid. Other than the nutrition and the differences between the ingredients, the only factor that really separates these two products are that one has the backing of 3 super famous content creators with a chokehold on Gen Alpha, who'll believe almost anything they say. If Logan, KSI, and Mr. Beast say this is—
I'm gonna be real, man. I don't know about that. Let's look up Google Trends. All right, this issue exists majorly in the United States. Lunchables. Lunchables, United States. Let's do past 5 years. Okay. Well, they're popping the fuck off recently. Let's look up Mr. Beast. Is Mr. Beast more popular than Lunchables? Oh my God, Mr. Beast is more popular than Lunchables. Holy fuck, Lunchables fucking fell off. What the hell? Lunchables fell the fuck off, bro. Hey, Lunchables, put the fries in the bag. Or in this case, put the prime in the bag.
perfectly fine to eat every day, the cafeteria is going to be filled with Lunchlies with not a single fruit or vegetable in sight. Health campaigns and health-focused content creators have even criticized these Lunchly snack kits.
You'll see countless comparisons being made to Lunchables. To be honest, some of the comparisons are kind of cringe and don't make much sense to me, but maybe that's because I'm not the target demo. Flavorful combos versus standard picks? The meal kit combos are nearly identical to Lunchables. Big gestures versus mid moments? I certainly don't remember that lesson in my nutrition classes.
I don't think it's causing harm. I don't think it's bad.
We're taking this shit too seriously. It's just catchy things to get kids interested in buying the product, and hopefully that they'll be able to convince their parents to buy it for them. That's also another thing. It's like they're selling this to children. No child is going out and buying a fucking Lunchable. Okay? It's their stupid fucking irresponsible parents buying this shit for them. And the parents need to be held more accountable for the shit they're giving their kids, in my opinion.
But I think it's been marketed in a way that gives people an impression that it's really, really good for hydration and or should be consumed at any other time of the day, like at lunch, which any, I think, sensible doctor, medical professional would say is not the case. And also just think of this. Do you really think that the same beverage that should be used to hydrate elite mixed martial art UFC fighters training and sweating for hours is what you should drink at lunch when you're not sweating?
One thing I will mention as
Can we just talk about how this is an issue with all corporations? Like, we acknowledge that, right? Like, we do acknowledge this is like an issue with like all corporations. Like, I'll be real, man. It's Skittles. Taste the fucking rainbow. If I was a kid, I'd be wanting to taste the rainbow 24/7. But we are really laser focusing on this. But maybe I'm bitter, guys. You understand? I'm a guy like I hate corporations. I really fucking hate corporations. There's the reason why I started Mythic Talent, because I hate these fuckers, man, who are just willing to do all this shady ass shit and hopefully have people where we can support like content creator first and not bend a knee to all these motherfuckers who've been ruining the industry for years.
someone who was pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Nutrition back in my university
Which thankfully everybody loves it. So great.
days. Basically, I took one nutrition class
Why are you slurping on Mr. Beast's cock? Because if you don't immediately go against him, everybody says that you're a fucking dick rider, and I think it's hilarious. Because that's the social climate. If you don't immediately attack someone for something that I believe, then you're riding their dick. Shut the fuck up, pussy.
and then dropped out. Yes, there is a bit of fear-mongering around processed foods. They are not good for you, but just because you can't pronounce some of the Lunchly ingredients doesn't mean that it's a horrible chemical. These are just the scientific names for vitamins, thickeners, and preservatives that keep the food from going off. In terms of processed foods that are cheap and ready to eat, the ingredient lists aren't the worst thing in the world. It's no different than buying a microwave meal, which also has scary sounding ingredients, but
True.
are perfectly safe to eat in moderation. Definitely not as a daily thing. Treating Lunchly as a yearly snack would probably be my personal preference. In the end, it does all come down to the parents. I mean, the kids aren't the ones working 40 hours a week and buying the groceries.
My dad's
Even
here,
if
Pog.
they got on their
Give me
hands
one
and
second.
knees and begged, you gotta say no or have some restrictions with what they're eating. Food
Not yet.
is a whole other ballpark compared to selling a hoodie or some pants, since it actually impacts your health. You have to be really clear about the brand's intentions without the confusing marketing tactics. If Lunchly made content teaching healthier eating habits, that would help their brand image. But
Sure.
that doesn't sell as well as whatever this is.
Now we take our all-new Lunchly Turkey Stack'ems. Ooh! Let's hit it.
It's actually pretty good. Shout out Logan, original cucumber guy. Hey, great name, by the way.
I remember when my parents would refuse to let me eat craft dinner and called it trash food. Please don't cancel
it
them.
is.
Times were different back then. But I did feel left out because all my classmates were eating it for lunch. Thankfully,
Yeah, but it is trash food, though. It is fucking garbage. Did I remember I had this fat fuck kid called Vincent who would eat Kraft macaroni dinner like 2 times a day, and his mom would put a whole stick of butter in like 2 servings. It was nuts. Like a whole stick. That shit was wild.
my parents could tell there was little to no nutrition in this box of macaroni noodles compared
And that shit tasted so goddamn good, it was insane.
to a home-cooked Asian meal. Although we did eat a Tim Hortons donut almost every single day after they picked me up from school. So, balance, I guess. Honestly, this Lunchly thing is making me want to eat Lunchables again after 20 years. But yeah, the public sentiment about Lunchly, 3.5 out of 10. Speaking of spiking up your dopamine levels, you familiar with loot boxes and gacha video games? I know a lot of you can relate from personal experience, me included. This is a mechanic where you spend real-life
Oh
money for
my god! It's everywhere!
in-game currency, used for getting special items, character skins, and JPEGs of attractive anime husbandos and waifus. Except it's not a guaranteed thing. No. It all comes down to a single button press and how lucky you are. The system makes it so you only have a 0.5 to 3% chance of pulling the newest character or rarest item. What happens if you don't get it? You gotta keep spending money if you want to keep trying. Which makes it so much more exciting when that 1% pull rate comes through. It's so fun and easy that even young kids can try their hand at it using their weekly allowance. This is essentially like gambling and training. Instead of winning
Yeah, well, it's the parents' fault for allowing them to have a weekly allowance. And you know what happens if the kid loses all their money on gambling and fucking gacha games or Overwatch? Nothing. They live for rent-free in their parents' homes. Like, can we stop acting like taking money away from kids is this horrible fucking thing? Kids shouldn't have money to begin with. They should be broke as fuck until they're 16 when they get their first fucking job. All right? Then at 18, go to college, move the fuck out. Like, bro, like, it's these parents' stupid fucking fault for giving them access to a credit card. Like, you got to understand, like, they're giving them, like, what, $5? How the fuck are they getting a credit card? Who's giving these kids a debit card? Who's doing this? Getting a job at 16 is insane? No, it's not. The fuck, man? You are entitled if you think getting a job at 16 is insane.
Cold hard cash, you win a cool Fortnite skin instead. That adrenaline rush you get from putting everything on black, or when you get a 5-star Genshin character on your first pull, is very addicting, especially for these young developing meat sacks. Why are you calculating how many loot boxes you can pull when you should be calculating a grade 4 math problem? People in their early 20s are the fastest growing group of gamblers, according to recent research, and many kids are starting younger than that. Nearly 2/3 of adolescents ages 12 to 18 said they had gambled or played gambling-like games in the previous year. Starting young carries a relative high burden of psychological distress and increased chances of developing problems. As access to gambling has expanded, psychologists and other experts have become concerned. Not just that more people will give it a try, but that more will develop gambling problems. And while
Yeah, but it's fun. And I'll be real, man. You know what scientists should also look into? How life's a gamble. When you come out of your mother's womb, you have a 1 in 100 chance of actually not being fucking broke and working for 99% of your life until you die. That's how the world is, boys. Work at 18, retire at 80. Ah, shit, you died at 65. Never got that trip to Hawaii, huh, big guy? It's a shame. We live in a shitty fucking world, and we all know it, man.
while it is too soon to know what the long-term effects will be, evidence is growing to suggest that young people, especially boys and men, are among those particularly vulnerable to gambling addiction, the same demographic most often participating in the newest forms of gambling. Now that we have smartphones, it's so accessible. In a matter of minutes, you could be playing a gacha game or spinning roulettes.
I remember I spent so much. I had like zero in my bank account. I had to like borrow money from like my boyfriend then to like eat. I used like Maple kind of as an escape. So there was COVID, right? So I didn't really go out. Then I didn't buy new clothes. So I was like, okay, then why don't I just buy virtual clothes, right? Why don't I just get good virtually?
That actually makes a lot of sense. Lockdown did do a number on our social skills. So why not treat this game world you invested so much time into as the real world? It definitely looks a lot more appealing than what we have going on here. Spending some money on a video game isn't inherently bad. We just need to control ourselves and make sure the grade schoolers are doing their homework instead of...
Yeah, and maybe also control these corporations who put out character after character after character after skin after skin after skin after skin, hoping to God, convincing their players, if you pull this character, you will finally have fun again. If you buy this DLC, the game will finally be good. If you pay our monthly subscription, we promise will change. No, they won't. Also, they lost the 50-50 Lamau. Bro got a cheat
Thankfully,
sheet.
we are starting to realize the effects of engaging in this type of behavior at such a young age. More regulations are being put in place, such as limiting accounts to certain spending amounts each day. Some countries have gone as far as to ban any form of loot boxes altogether. Too bad this didn't happen before a 13-year-old spent her family's entire life savings on a mobile game.
I'm sorry, that is not the company's fault that the family was stupid enough to lose their credit card to their kid. God, man. The amount of issues that parents cause that they blame on their kids is unfucking believable. Holy shit. Good Lord. And here's the other thing. Loot boxes aren't bad. We just need a way to grind for those loot boxes without spending money. The problem is when you can't grind for that. That's when it becomes a big issue. But as long as a game can ensure that you can get your favorite characters for free, that's when I don't have a problem. I do have a problem when all of the fun shit is pay gated behind thousands and thousands of dollars. We're cooked, boys, and we all fucking know it.